So Barak Ravid, who's a CNN commentator and also a journalist with Axios, one of the best sourced reporters on the Middle East that exists, he and a colleague reported earlier today that two Israeli officials told them that Trump and his aides were only pretending to oppose an Israeli attack in public and didn't express opposition in private. We had a clear U.S. green light, one of them claimed. The goal, they say, was to convince Iran that no attack was imminent and make sure Iranians on Israel's target list wouldn't move to new locations. Netanyahu's aides even briefed Israeli reporters that Trump had tried to put the brakes on an Israeli strike in a call on Monday, when in reality the call dealt with coordination ahead of the attack, Israeli officials now say. One of the big question marks over all of this is whether President Trump was part of a deception campaign, publicly saying he did not want Israel to strike, but privately signing off on it so that the Iranians would be lulled into a false sense of security, or whether, no, that was a sincere position, but right now Israel is giving him the opportunity to claim, oh yes, I knew all along and I was completely with it.
Yeah, look, Jake, I think it's the latter. The reality is that if President Trump was fully supportive of this operation from the jump, he wouldn't have been talking about negotiating all this time. He would have been talking about negotiating just last night. The idea that this is all a setup to allow the Iranian commanders to be still in place is ridiculous. And you know how you know? After the strikes happened, why didn't the president come out with a statement right away? Why did Secretary Rubio have that limited statement saying, well, we were not involved, but we knew it was going to happen?
Right? He also did that statement. Also was notable for not saying we stand with Israel. Secretary Rubio, who first of all is a stalwart supporter of Israel, and second of all, lots of other people, lots of other politicians were saying we stand with Israel. That Rubio statement did not say that.
And you know that the White House was watching that statement very carefully. They were managing that statement, and they were managing what the president was saying. Now, ultimately, the president did come out strong, but it took him, 12, 16, 18 hours to do that. That suggests there was an internal debate going on about how to handle this. And now, this idea that I knew about it the whole way, I was just doing it for top cover, I don't buy the story.
And there is a domestic political part of this, too, Cedric, which is that there are a lot of people in the MAGA movement who think that this is Israel dragging the United States into a global conflict, and that this is not what people who voted for Donald Trump voted for. Notably, Tucker Carlson, the commentator who spoke at the Republican convention, in his newsletter this morning was very critical of this war and of the United States playing whatever role it did.
Yeah, it's a really interesting juxtaposition of things here that we're dealing with, Jake, because, quite frankly, it's in the U.S. national interest to defend Israel. And so when you have a situation where Israel goes preemptively and does conducts an attack on the Iranian nuclear facilities and other aspects of the Iranian command and control structure, you really have, in some ways, something that the U.S. administration may not have supported at the beginning, but they can take advantage of it now.